Hey you guys, I put my extensions in, so I'm feeling pretty professional today. I am a real life beauty guru, thank you so much. So I realized it's been a little while since I've done a favorites video, so I thought I would do one for you guys today. I have a lot of Sephora picks because I know there's another VIB sale going on. I don't know what's happening because there was the one that was like a little bit earlier this year, which I made a video for because I'm so good at my job. But anyways, there's a bunch of Sephora picks, but I also have some stuff that's not from Sephora, so I will put that stuff kind of like separate. Have I separated these? Not really. Is Charlotte Tilbury on Sephora? That's a hard maybe. I'll put that right in between the Sephora picks and the non-Sephora picks. Everything will be linked below for your convenience. I make money off those links, just so you guys are aware. If you don't want me to make money, go straight to Sephora and buy it. Not through my link. Okay, great, let's do this. So in my last VIB recommendation, I recommended a perfume to you guys, and I was shocked by how many of you responded to me saying that you had picked it up. I didn't think that perfume was something that you guys would be like super interested in knowing, like what I wear or whatever, but anyways, I wanted to mention again to you, my favorite perfume that I've been wearing nonstop, and I'll definitely continue wearing into fall, winter, because it's such a like universal scent, is the Atelier Cologne Vanille Encensé. This is like just, it's my absolute favorite perfume. I really loved the Clementine California one from them as well, but I feel like that's definitely a more kind of like summery, fresh, light kind of scent. This is just so beautiful. It's so sexy. It's so just like rich, and I find that it's one of the few perfumes that lasts really well on me, because a lot of the times I'll put perfume on and I just feel like it's gone right away kind of thing, and I won't even like be able to smell it on my clothes really afterwards. I don't know why, it's just weird, but I feel like that one lasts really, really well, and I just smell myself all day and I'm aroused by myself. I have a bunch of little like travel sizes of this as well that I keep like in my car, in my backpack. I use a backpack. Oh, fucking, okay, anyways. I'm only a halfway adult, but anyways, I keep them around because I always want it with me. The other scent that I really, really, really love for like fall and winter is the Replica by the Fireplace perfume. This is, okay, Justin Bieber chilling by the fire while we're eating fondue in a scent. It smells like woody and musky, but sweet, like roasted marshmallows. It's just so lovely. Every time I put it on, it reminds me of Christmas, and it's so funny because Alana always wears this. She wears this year round, and I don't know how, because I cannot put this on without simultaneously putting on Kenny G. This perfume does not exist without Kenny G. It does not exist without fall leaves crunching under your feet. It does not exist without Christmas spirit. I just don't know how she wears it in the summer, and she pulls it off. I mean, she just smells great. I can only wear this in the fall, because I need to be so much in the fall spirit. It's like an all-encompassing perfume. So now's the time, and I love this so much. It's so beautiful. It's not sickeningly sweet, but I feel like it's like very feminine sweet, because I'm not a huge fan of really, really like cotton candy kind of sweet scents. I like something to have a little bit more kind of like depth and earthiness to it, I guess. And I feel like that is a perfect blend right down the middle. And if anyone wants to hire me to describe your perfumes, I'm available. I'll leave my contact information below. So next I wanted to move into skincare. I've kind of been a mask kind of bitch lately. I feel like lately I've been trying to be more consistent with relaxing in the evening and stuff, and part of that has been using masks. This was one I was trying for the past month. This is the Origins Clear Improvement Charcoal Honey Mask to Purify and Nourish. It's black, but it's also sparkly. This one smells exactly like Braised Honey from Lush, which used to be one of my all-time favorite masks because it made your skin so glowy and so beautiful, but I had to stop using it because it has like, I can't remember if it's ground up almonds or what, but it's just too intense for my skin. Like, it's very scrubby, and so I had to stop using it. But this like just brought me back to so many beautiful Lush memories because it smells exactly like Braised Honey. If you know, you know. But anyways, I've been breaking out a lot recently, and I have been using this mask kind of like twice a week usually, and just putting it on. Even if I just put it on the spots sometimes, if I don't feel like doing my whole face and washing it off, I'll sometimes just put it on those spots and leave it for like 20 minutes while I read. Probably you're not supposed to leave it on that long. Well, it just says apply mask and allow to dry. I allow it to really dry. Like, I can't talk anymore when I have this mask on because my face is like... Anyways, long story short, I'm so bad at describing things. I feel like this makes a big difference in my skin in terms of breakouts. I feel like it really calms them. It makes them a lot more flat and a lot less irritated. If you guys remember during my acne journey, you might not if you're new here, but I really struggled with acne for 2 years. I had really bad cystic acne, mostly kind of like right here. And my acne was really painful, super deep. I went on antibiotics to get rid of it. My skin was nice and clear for just about a year almost. It was beautiful. But it's slowly kind of been coming back. I don't know that it's gonna come back completely, but I hope not. Anyways, that's just me moaning and groaning. But I feel like this makes such a difference for my acne and kind of making it less painful and less raised and irritated. So I've been using it and liking it. And then I have another Origins. I don't know why I've been bumming Origins so much lately, but this is the Origins Hello Calm Relaxing and Hydrating Face Mask with Cannabis 420 Blaze It Sativa Seed Oil. Non-intoxicating. So I've been really liking this guy on the days where I feel like my skin's more irritated. If my acne's gone down a little bit and I just want like a little bit more hydration, I've been putting this one on. And this one I'll just leave on overnight as well, kind of like as a moisturizer. So I'll use a really tiny little amount and just kind of spread it all over my face and go to bed. It just makes my skin feel a lot less irritated if I've been like trying out new makeup, trying out new skincare, whatever kind of thing. I feel like this one's been helping a lot. So I've been using this one, and then I used the other Origins one that I like a lot as well. I mentioned it in my last VIB one. I don't notice a huge difference between the two, although I seem to gravitate towards this one a little bit more when I have kind of breakouts. I'm not sure if that's like a mental thing or what, but I feel like when my skin's clear, I use the other Origins hydration mask that I talked about last time, and when my skin's not clear, I end up using this one. And as the winter months are upon us, my skin gets drier and drier than it already is, quite frankly. Oh my God, how did I forget about this? It's upstairs. I forgot, but I need to tell you. This is not a Sephora thing, it's a Glossier thing, but the Glossier Zit Stick has been working great for me. I've been trying this thing where I don't pop my zits. Oh, stupid. I love popping my zits. I'm so sorry. But I've been trying to not even trying to kind of chill. And I've been trying to use the Glossier Zit Stick, and especially on days where I'm not applying my makeup, I'll kind of apply that like a couple times throughout the day. And it's helped so much. The first time I tried it, I put it on like overnight kind of thing, and it made such a huge difference, and it really helps to kind of like heal up my zits quicker. The only thing I find is that if you've been like applying it and applying it and applying it for like a few days on the same spot, it does start to get a little bit kind of like flaky and dry. And that's where I love like hydration masks like this to wear overnight, because it kind of just brings that life back into my skin. It makes it so that it's not as like flaky and dry and peely. So yeah, that's my little spiel. Okay, I'm sure this is gonna come as no surprise to you because I've talked about it in virtually every video, and I have probably mentioned it in a favorites before. I probably mentioned it in my VIB thing. Yes, I definitely did. Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation. It's so good. I love this foundation. It's so dewy. It's like the perfect color. I mean, I don't know, you tell me. I think it's a good color match, but it's just so, it's so perfect. I'm shade 30 for those of you that have been asking. I know that I've been receiving a few DMs here and there and tweets and stuff like that asking what color I am, so I'm shade 30. I just find that that foundation wears really beautifully on my skin. It gives a really nice glow, even if I'm powdering, because I've been powdering a little bit more lately because of my acne. It's a slippery slope, guys. I don't find that it gets like oil slick. Keep in mind, I do have dry skin, so if you have more kind of like normal, combo, oily, definitely get just like a sample from Sephora, try it out for a few days and see what you think. It's just such a beautiful foundation. I've gone through 2 full tubes now, and no foundation will ever be the same to me. I'm not gonna say that. That might be a lie. Ooh, I'm so excited to tell you guys about these. I haven't done a video, have I? I don't know if I've done a video with these yet, but beg to feek, my compliments to the chef. These are the Marc Jacobs Holiday Glitter Glam Glitter, I'm so sorry. Glam Glitter eyeshadows. They're called sequins. Truly, where do I begin? So these are really similar to the Tarte Chrome paints. They have a just really reflective, beautiful formula. They're really intense and shimmery. The thing that's really, really incredible about these is that, first of all, you don't have to use a wet brush, you can use a dry brush. And secondly, when you get these, if you end up picking them up, you will look at them and be like, oh, that's going to be an absolute crumbly mess. And you will be thinking about all the fallout in your mind and you'll be like, is it worth it, Sam? And I'm gonna tell you yes, because it's shocking how little fallout there truly is from these guys. They look so crumbly in the pan. Like the first one that I picked up, I was like, oh, this is beautiful, but this is gonna be so fucked up. But the formula is just stunning. Like I'm just so shocked by how beautifully they apply. The nuance in them is incredible. There's so much like depth to so many of these colors. There's so many different glitters kind of like mixed in. They're just so beautiful. I'm gonna swatch them for you. I picked my 3 favorite shades. They're all neutral. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the ISO a little bit so you can really see these. So this one is called Topaz Flash. This one is called Copperazzi. And this one is called Gleam Girl, is that right? Yes, Gleam Girl. These are just so beautiful. I am so in love with these. And I think the thing that's really nice about, I'm gonna sit back down. I think the thing that's really nice about kind of like single shadows like this that you can add is that we've been buying so many eyeshadow palettes and a lot of them have kind of like the same stuff going on. Like a lot of the times when you buy an eyeshadow palette, there's usually a few kind of pops of color, but there's for the most part just neutrals and warm neutrals. And so I feel like we're buying and buying and buying palettes. And for me, I don't know about you, but a lot of the times when I get a palette, it's for like one color that really draws me in. It's usually not because of the whole color story. It's like I'll swatch one shimmery shade and I'll be like, that shade is so beautiful. I need to get the palette because I want that shade. But what I found is I'm so much more likely now to grab like toppers like this that are so much more like intense and textured and beautiful, and they have so much more nuance to them than shimmers that are pressed, that I find I'm just using my eyeshadow palettes and using the neutrals and then going and grabbing a topper like this. Look at when I wiped those all off. I wonder if I can mix all 3 of those. Anyways, it's so easy to go from kind of like a day look to a night look by just adding those on top of like a matte neutral eye that you had for your day. So I really have been liking that one a lot. Is this too dark still? I don't know. Well, that makes me look less tanned though. I'm gonna go back one. There, I just look like I have a little tan. Okay, what else do I have here? Oh, so okay, this is the Natasha Denona Crystal Top Coat. These just came out. Are they out? We'll find out. But anyways, this is, she came out with a bunch last year around the holidays as well. And I liked those, but I wasn't completely blown away by them. Like I found other kind of formula scents that I enjoy more, because the ones last year were much more of like a true top coat. Like they were just a really sheer kind of amount of glitter. You couldn't really wear them completely on their own, in my opinion, unless you were going for like that kind of like super sheer kind of glittery look. But this one this year, she came out with 2. There's one that's a brown color, which is fine, but this is called Metal Black. Oh, it's so beautiful. They feel a lot more wet than last year, but that is that guy right there. And I just feel like this is so stunning. I love this for kind of like a holiday New Year's kind of look, rather than doing the traditional like gold glitter. I just think that's so beautiful. And it's pretty easy to apply. It feels almost like a cream shadow, which like when I swatched it, I was like, ooh, I wonder if that's gonna be difficult to blend out, but I didn't find that at all. It has the most beautiful kind of like, it's sort of like a steel blue kind of black, and it's just so beautiful. I love this one on its own, but I also love it topped with the Stila Molten Midnight. So I really liked putting that guy kind of like over top, just to make it look even more intense. I feel like it literally looks like an oil slick on your eye. It's so beautiful, and I think that that's like a really nice kind of change up for holiday makeup if you're sort of over the like gold glitter and red lip and whatever. Ooh, this is also a newer release. So this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. Truly, there's one actual reason why I love this palette. I mean, I think all the colors are beautiful, but this color right here reminds me so much of the old formula of MAC Warm Soul. Listen, if you've been here for a while, you already know my devastating breakup with MAC Warm Soul. MAC has a mineralized blush called Warm Soul, and it used to be the most beautiful blush in the world. I have one left of the old formula. It's Truly, it was just so beautiful. Every single time you put it on, you just felt like your makeup was finished. It had the most beautiful glow to it. The tone of it was so perfect. Like, it's not quite bronze, it's not quite gold, it's not quite plum, it's not quite pink. Like, it just is honestly the most beautiful, like, neutral tone. And it just made your cheeks look like alive, basically. So I use this so sparingly because I just love it so much. But they changed the packaging, and when they changed the packaging, I personally feel like they changed the formula as well. Now the formula is a lot more kind of like chunky gold glitter. It's not as fine and more of like a sheen. It looks like a chunky glitter on your face. So I was so devastated about that, and I hold on to that last MAC Warm Soul, and I love it so much, and I never want to lose it. But I've been searching and searching and searching for something similar to that ever since, and I feel like this comes the closest I've ever tried, and I almost like it a little more. It's so beautiful. That said, I do like the other tones as well. Don't get me wrong, they're all beautiful. These two are beautiful as a finishing powder, especially underneath the eye. They kind of give that nice like light reflect, but they're not super like, they're not like a highlight in my opinion. And then this one is more of a true kind of like intense highlight if that's what you're looking for. You have a nice plummy blush if you're more into those kind of tones, and especially if you're pairing it with something like purpley or red for like your kind of holiday looks, that'll be really beautiful. This is a great everyday blush, and then this bronzer up here is really beautiful as well. This palette's gonna be quite beautiful across a range of skin tones because you do have quite a bit of warmth behind all of these tones, so it shouldn't end up looking super ashy on those of you with deeper skin tones. However, you might feel like that bronzer falls just a little bit flat or just is a little bit too light and doesn't make much of a difference for you, unless you're just kind of wanting to use it more as like almost a highlight, because it does have a little bit of shimmer to it, so you might use it almost as like a transition between like a darker contour or bronzer and like your blush or highlight. It might be kind of nice, like swept kind of between. Charlotte Tilbury is at Sephora. Okay, well then this stays with the Sephora recommendations. Listen, I'm such a hater bitch. This is the Stars in Your Eyes palette. I jumped the gun, as I'm known to do. I posted a tweet comparing this to the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, and I was like, I literally thought these were the same palette as I was scrolling through Instagram. This is a neutral palette at the end of the day. I'm sure you have tons of these shadows kicking around somewhere in one palette, in multiple palettes, doesn't matter. I'm sure that you have these colors over and over again. The reason I'm gonna recommend a completely neutral palette to you for the 8 millionth time is because this formula is absolutely stunning. I just find that this formula is so stunning. That goes for the shimmers, that goes for the mattes. I find that it blends out so beautifully, and I feel like this is a really good beginner palette. It's obviously more high-end, so it's not like good beginner pricing, but I feel like it's a good palette for people that aren't really good with kind of like making color combinations, and that's a comment I see a lot on my channel. People are like, how do you know what colors to put together, like whatever, and people get really confused with certain palettes. A lot of the times with the Anastasia palettes, people get super confused by the layout because it feels so random, and I see people all the time reorganizing the palette like through Photoshop to make it so that people have an easier time understanding what colors could go with what. So this is nice because like you just have your three kind of separate color palettes all put together in here, so it's really easy and obvious to just pick out what colors are gonna go well. It's a nice range of mattes and shimmers. It's kind of like half and half, and I just find that every time I use this palette, I'm like, what a delight that was. It's so foolproof and simple, and I feel like it's, for me at least, an eyeshadow formula where I actually notice the difference of how well it applies in comparison to other eyeshadows. Whereas a lot of the times nowadays, I feel like an eyeshadow is an eyeshadow is an eyeshadow. I'm not usually kind of like drawn to different formulas, just because I feel like the general quality of makeup is so much higher nowadays than it used to be. But anyways, beautiful palette. I've been loving that so much. Let's move into the non-Sephora recommendations that I just had to tell you guys about as well. I feel like I have a lot of favorites, but I haven't done a video in a while. My next favorite is the Dose of Colors Desi and Katie collab. This is the Friendcation palette. This eyeshadow dropped out one day. I had to like press it back in. I said on my video when I was reviewing this that this was probably my favorite influencer collab I've ever tried, and I stand by that completely because I've been using this palette since I got it nonstop. I just think for the everyday makeup wearer, the colors are so perfect and so easy to pair with the rest of this palette because there's not a ton of different matte colors to choose from. So it's kind of just really easy to pop that warm brown in the crease and grab any one of those colors across the lid. And it looks so beautiful. I feel really confident every time I wear this palette. And there's a lot of shades in here that I'm normally not super drawn to, like olive, for instance. Fucking olive. I hate olive eyeshadow. I want to love it. I want to have like beautiful green eyes and wear like a little olive eye and look like really pretty. But I just don't like olives on my skin tone. I never have. I don't think it looks nice. I stay so far away from green eyeshadow. But I feel like there's just something about that shade Dirty Money that's so beautiful. Like, it is the most unreal olive eyeshadow I've ever used in my life. It's just such a beautiful palette, and even though this was released kind of more in the summer-ish, I feel like it will transition really beautifully into fall. I'm hoping that you guys can still get this one because it's so beautiful. I really have been liking this guy a lot. Ooh, I have one lipstick. I didn't have any lipstick pulls, and I was like, have I even been wearing lipstick? I haven't really. Oh, I forgot about that lip balm. I have to get you this lip balm. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so at night, I've been using my Laneige Sleeping Lip Balm, and I fucking love that one for nighttime. But during the day, I've been using this Lano Lips Tinted Lip Balm in the color Rose. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I like this formula better than the original Lano Lips formula. I'm not sure if you guys have ever tried it, but their lip balms are pretty popular at Sephora. Ooh, this is a Sephora recommendation as well. But I feel like I really love this color because it's nice and sheer, but it just adds a little bit more color to my lips because I find that sometimes it looks a little weird if I have like a full face of makeup on and I'm wearing just plain lip balm. So I do like that that has a little bit of a tint to it, and I've been using that so much during the day. So I've been using that the most, but the other lipstick I've been bumming so hard this past month is MAC Blankety. I love this shade. I really do. It just feels like every time I put this on, it just looks so perfect, and it's what I need to like finish up my look. If you have a hard time with more cool toned nudes, you might not like that one just because it does look almost like I'm dying sometimes. It just has like a little bit more of a gray shift almost. So depending on how tanned I am, I find that it kind of, if I'm a little bit more tanned, I find that it looks a little too gray for my skin, whereas if I'm a little bit lighter, then it's like perfect. Just something, again, that's maybe better to pick up in person and swatch because you might find that it's a little too gray for you if you are a little bit more kind of like tan to deeper skin tone. Oh, then I have two products from LC Cosmetics. You guys might guess this one, but this is the LC Complete Remedy Silk Concealer. This is such a beautiful concealer. The first time I put it on and like blended it out, I was just like, oh, that looks fantastic. Great. It is quite a bit more full coverage than a lot of the concealers that I've been using recently. I really love the First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado Concealer. Such a weird name. I've been loving that concealer as well, but this one is a little bit more full coverage, so I find that I've been liking it kind of on my spots. I use it under my eyes as well, and I just think it's so stunning. I love it so much. I think the shade range is limited with this guy because they're a little bit of a smaller brand. Can't remember exactly how many shades there were, but worth checking out. It's an absolutely beautiful concealer. I love it so much, and I think you guys will really like it too. I also find that it's not too full coverage to the point where it looks odd if I'm wearing a more sheer foundation. I find that it still kind of blends out really beautifully and it doesn't look too intense. The other thing from LC, I have such a hard time getting into this packaging, is called the Eclipse Highlighter in the color Luna. I know there's probably so many people in the comments being like, is that a fucking powder highlight? Yes, it is. I'm never gonna back off the dew. Mark my words, right here, right now. Pull up this video for reference. I'm not doing it. I love dewy skin. I love cream highlights. I love liquid highlights, but I fucking like this highlight. It's the most perfect color. I find that a lot of the times brands release highlights and it's either super pink or super gold, and this is so beautifully down the middle. It has kind of like those peachy pink kind of pulls to it, but it also has like a nice kind of like goldy, almost neutral kind of champagne tone, and it's so stunning. And I just find that the formula of it is really, really beautiful. It doesn't feel really powdery on my skin. It doesn't feel like it looks too dry or anything like that. I'm wearing it right now. I do tend to go over it with a damp beauty blender after I've applied, but I've really been liking that highlight a lot. All right, you guys, so that is everything for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching. That was great. Love you. Everything will be linked below for your convenience. Let me know what you want to see next. I don't know, I'm having such a hard time doing this outro. Let me know what you want to see next in the comments below. I'll get back to you. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next time. Peace out. It's a one-handed kiss. I don't know how to feel. Yeah, it'll do.